can do a little bit more gaming on here. Everything seems pretty decent. Hey, how's it going, guys? I've got the all-new DMOAO, I don't know how to pronounce this name, but it's a pretty beastly tablet for about $150, which is what I paid on Amazon. And the price might fluctuate, it might be a little less. We got most of the specs back here, and one thing I do want to mention, and I don't like, is how deceiving the title can actually be, because it mentions that it had 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is really just 8 gigabytes of regular RAM, and then 8 gigabytes of VRAM. So I hate how they mix that up to make it 16 gigs. It makes it look greater than it really is. But the show must go on. At least it does have 256 gigabytes of internal storage, and then it is an 11-inch screen, then some more specs here, a 2000 by 1200 display with a 2.0 gigahertz processor. Unfortunately, Amazon destroyed my packaging. I don't think it damaged anything here, because there is a foam piece here, and then there's the tablet itself, which does not look damaged at all. I have not taken it out of this plastic, but it doesn't look damaged at all whatsoever. And it feels pretty nice too. Wow, it's like a premium finish here with the camera protruding. I'll get to this more in just a moment. There's quite a bit in here. First off, there's a screen protector along with this cool case, which I'll take a look at more in just a moment. USB-A power outlet, and then USB-C to USB-A cable. And finally, there's a pin to get to the probably micro SD card tray, as well as a user guide. So here's the tablet itself. Gonna take this out, and do we have a screen protector that's pre-installed on here? It looks like there is. Okay. I mean, it took just a moment to realize it, but yeah. You can easily tell there's a screen protector, maybe not so easily. After looking at the front camera, there's that like kind of little notch on the screen protector that shows that it's there, that it exists. Anyways, the tablet itself here is not too thick. It is kind of heavy. It does have that kind of like more firm, square type of feel or finish. With the volume keys, power button on top, then there's the camera on the back. They are kind of emphasizing a little bit on the camera, mentioning that it has a rear 13 megapixel camera and then a secondary camera along with a flash. 2 speaker grills on the side here, nothing on the bottom, and then on the right side here, got 2 more speaker grills, and then the USB-C port to recharge it, as well as the micro SD card tray. That's actually pretty easy to take out with the SIM pin. The bezels are okay. It seems like it's laminated, but I do see some black bars here. Does a better job than other tablets though, so that's nice. Just to clarify, really have to try to see from the side, and you can tell that the black bars are there. Maybe it's a little harder to tell on video, but it is there. But otherwise, it does look decent. The screen itself gets decently bright, but this might not be enough to use outside in direct sunlight. Take that how you will. It's a 2000 by 1200 display, so you can watch videos at full HD, 1080p on YouTube, not on Netflix or other places, because this does have a widevine level of L3 as shown here, which is kind of unfortunate. And one issue, small issue that I just noticed.
Dive into the world of server maintenance, where temperature control is not a luxury, but a necessity. Enter Tempcube, your ultimate solution to safeguard server rooms against temperature-related issues, promoting peak performance and minimizing downtime. Experience real-time temperature tracking with Swiss-made sensors for unparalleled accuracy. Stay connected with dual-band Wi-Fi, monitoring your server room from anywhere, anytime. But Tempcube doesn't stop at monitoring. It offers historical reports and API components for in-depth analysis, empowering you with data-driven insights. With its digital display and continuous monitoring, rest easy knowing you'll be alerted to any deviations from optimal conditions. Fear power loss? Tempcube's instant alerts have you covered, enabling immediate action to prevent equipment damage. Quick to install, Tempcube is up and running in no time, ensuring your server room is in safe hands. Choose Tempcube. Don't just maintain your infrastructure, safeguard it with the best. Because when it comes to temperature control, nothing beats the cube.
As I was using this, is that when I have the flap backwards, it might automatically close the screen if it's close enough to the screen area, which is kind of unfortunate. I did not press the button or anything, just to show you one more time. So I have it like this, and then I just bring this flap back, then at a certain angle or a certain way, it just locks itself. So that's kind of a little flaw there with the case. Quick solution is to remove the case itself. I guess it's nice to have a case rather than not, so there's that. Take that how you will. So first off, on this case, this front bar has a magnet, this flap, so it pretty much closes up the screen, which is really nice and convenient without having to press the lock button or anything, which is what I like. And then I can also place the tablet as so for viewing, for watching a video on YouTube or something, or even Netflix if you can overlook the 480p low resolution. And then otherwise, it can probably go backwards a little bit too, to a certain extent. Oh, looks like it probably can't, but I mean, I'll have to see if it does have that triangular mode. It looks like it does. It is a little bit bigger or higher than other ones, and I apologize about that glare there. I think this case will overall protect the tablet, because if you're putting this in a backpack or something, it'll prevent scratches, dirt, and whatnot. And it also does protect the camera back here to a certain extent, because it's not protruding, or the protrusion isn't there anymore. And it looks like the tablet holds in place this way, just barely though, by like a thin razor, because there's a bump back here that lets it be there, but it seems kind of fragile. Actually, no, it's holding on pretty well, so I stand corrected. As for the camera quality itself, this is nighttime, so it does look a little funky on video, but it seems a little more natural in person. So just going to take that one picture right there, and then let's see here. Okay, it looks like it does a decent job. Really can't complain with the front camera. And the rear camera is the same way. It's not that bad. These pictures can be a hit or miss, depending on how you look at it. Like, for instance, for my SPF lotion, I can read the back here on questions or comments. Everything else, it's a little hard to read. It's pretty much impossible to read here. I did take a little bit more. And by the way, the shutter speed is pretty quick too. Surprisingly, some of this stuff, it's not really blurry than others, but it seems like there's a bit more noise. Like, I cannot read the active ingredients back here, but this stuff over here, I kind of can.
Also more affordable that way. This is going to sound a little controversial. I would choose having a...
Okay, so the speakers are tinny, but they do get pretty loud. Videos can be upscaled to 4K, and it did lag a little bit in the beginning, but it kind of just fixated itself. Maybe it was just loading, that's my best guess. Regardless, the video playback is nice. Gosh, I wish it had widevine level L1, because that's honestly like almost even a deal breaker. I feel like all tablets should have like widevine L1 or be able to have video playback at 1080p at this point. I think it's kind of silly that they require widevine level L1. All I'm saying is that usually when people look at getting tablets, it's also watch videos, media consumption, because it is a nice big screen. You can watch it when you're laying down in bed or something like along those lines. But the show must go on. In terms of performance, everything is just about buttery smooth. I haven't really noticed any major lag or issues whatsoever, just from interacting with the screen, going around, and even playing some games here and there. The Geekbench scores were surprisingly low, but maybe that is to be expected on a tablet of this caliber. The ARM Mali GPU is an Mali G72MP3. It sounds kind of nice, and then the CPU is an MT8183, and then the history shows that this is what the score we got. The single core was pretty low, and so was the multi-core score. And then the GPU score was around 1100. Can't really expect too much here. First game here is Roblox, and I have the graphics set to the lowest. It's pretty smooth overall, I'd say. There are some frame rate drops here and there, but it's not enough to really hinder your game performance. I mean, look at how quickly he's running. Next game here is Bloodstrike, and these are the graphics it's set to. And it does a pretty decent job from what I can tell here. Yeah, no major issues or lag. So overall, you can do a little bit more gaming on here. Everything seems pretty decent. I'm just a little disappointed by not having widevine L1 on this, and the fact that it doesn't really have 16 gigs of RAM like it shows on the listing, which is pretty unfortunate. I mean, I don't know about you guys. Is that something that annoys you too? Because it definitely does to me. Because when I'm looking at something, it just feels a little deceiving. So let me know what you guys think. Going back to it all, let me just check to see how the back feels, because I don't really feel much heat behind this case, of course. But in general, I don't really feel like, yeah, it's not really hot to the touch or anything in the back. So that's a good sign. That means the cooling does a pretty decent job on here on this tablet. And then finally for battery life really quickly, I'm at 87%. I can't really show much because it says data is not available. So I can't give you an accurate reading on how this performs, but you can probably expect to get pretty much a full day out of this, maybe 6 or 7 hours of on-screen time, give or take, depending on what you're doing. So that's not bad at all, I'd say. But I do have some other tablets I'm checking out, like this gym tab that I have next to me. So stay tuned for the next one. Thanks for watching.